This'll be in my stash when I need it.
Chicken killer. Hey you guys, what up? It's your boy Rob. Apollo Everest. Nope. Nope. Even more Sylvia. Back again, continuing our stream of Horizon Forbidden West, almost at Zero Dawn. Where we left off, we had finished our exploration of the Daunt, everything south of Chainscrape, explored the Split Crag, kind of gave Ulvond his comeuppance, allied with some former members of the Shadow Karja, killed members of the Shadow Karja cult, the Eclipse, who we found were right here in Straggler's Shade, who were still rummaging about, trying to get into the Forbidden West to follow a new cult leader. They are rebuilding in the West, possibly to reinvade the East. That would not be ideal. But yes, so that is what we managed to do. We did a couple of side quests, did a bunch of hand-in stuff, and we are ready now to begin our embassy. Yes.
Over here.
So let's start the embassy. And
You.
for
I know you see me.
Look at you!
you.
Hello.
So this is a former prison.
Don't
converted-
worry. If the Tanakh were planning to invade, they'd have done so already.
If you say so, sir.
All right, let's go.
Are you in charge around here?
Lawan.
Apologies, no. That would be Commander Nozar. I'm Lawan, his second in command. So, what brings Aloy of the Nora to Barren Light?
You know
I'm
who I
here for
am.
the embassy. I need it to happen so I can head west. And maybe now that Studious Wadis is here, we can finally get things underway.
Yes, the Sun Priest. Walked in practically kicking and screaming behind his escort.
Good.
Really seems to like his scrolls. But the embassy remains delayed. Commander Nozar has signaled our readiness, but the Tanakh marshals have yet to sound their horn.
All right, fine. Let me through the gates then. I have my own business with them.
I'm sure you do, but I'm afraid I can't.
Of course.
Commander's orders. Normally, the gates are open for any who dare to venture out. Asaram salvagers, a few especially brazen Karja, but no one's allowed in or out before an embassy. They'll reopen, once the Tanakh have left.
They both double-checked.
You said something about Tanakh marshals. Who are they?
They're the tribe's elite warriors. Before every embassy, they arrive with a contingent of soldiers from each of their 3 clans. Then,
I did learn a little bit
during
about
the
that.
proceedings, they negotiate on behalf of their leader. And by negotiate, I mean stare down our Sun Priest until they concede. Paiv over here came face to face with them for the first time at the last embassy. Came back drenched in his own sweat.
It was hot that day, sir.
It was indeed.
Scorcher.
So what happens at these embassies, exactly?
Mostly trade and negotiation. The Karja offer tribute of food, spices, and gear. In exchange, the Tanakh return personal effects taken from Karja soldiers that fell during the Red Raids. This particular embassy, however, is a special case.
Because the Tanakh, they're handing over some sort of prisoner, right? A soldier named Fashav?
So you've heard.
I did hear. One of the greatest warriors.
The exchange has got everyone on edge. You never know if an embassy's going to go well until it's practically over.
Where is this Commander Nozar, then? If he's
What's
the one
up?
keeping the gates shut, I'll convince him to open them for me.
I'll take you to him, but I have to warn you. The commander isn't one to break protocol, especially when he's already high-strung.
We'll see about that.
I'm a very stubborn young woman.
This way.
There's a lot of activity going on around here.
The Tanakh tore down this place during the Red Raids. 2 years of labor, and we still have a long way to go. The work stoppage and chain scrape nearly halted our rebuilding efforts. But I hear a certain Nora got them back to work.
I was just helping out.
Yes, well, I'm sure Ulvund was thrilled.
Ah, he's a charmer. Keep walking, my guy.
Stand aside, soldier.
Sir?
There's the commander. Better brace yourself. And good luck.
Commander Nazar. Oh, with Studious. Yay.
How are we to hold an embassy with a tribe that can't even govern their own people?
What more can you expect from barbarians? Ah. Aloy, was it?
Yes. The one who cleared the valley for you? That Aloy.
We appreciate your service. At least we are ready for the embassy to begin.
Didn't you just give the signal?
Both sides must signal readiness. Until the Tanakh sound their horn, we wait.
Yea, for as the first shall be...
Shut up. Why the delay?
The Tanakh are a tribe composed of 3 clans. How
Until
many
all 3
banners
clans
do
are
you see?
present.
You're just gonna wait? Go find out what's wrong.
Banners.
Oh, this isn't some forgotten corner of the East where you come from, Nora. It's the Forbidden West. If you don't like it, run back to Meridian, file a complaint.
The Meridian I saved, you mean?
That's right. Nobody walks to the gate until the 3rd clan arrives and the Tanakh's horn has sounded. Not even the savior of Meridian.
Let's not walk through the gates then.
Well, thanks, but I've waited long enough. It's time to go.
Absolutely not. This embassy depends on diligent adherence to... You shall not!
Keep telling yourself that.
Someone approaching! On a machine!
Varl.
Oh boy. I got Varl and Erend here.
Open the gates, please.
Do not let her through that gate! That is a direct order!
Sorry, can't do it.
Sir, it's the Savior! I don't care if it's the power between herself. The gate is sealed until that horn blows!
I'm asking
Oh, he shaved.
nicely.
I don't know what to do.
Hey, Varl. Hi, Aaron. What's happening?
You know, the usual. Aloy wants something. People try to
Open
stand in her way.
the
It's not gonna work.
gates.
Oh, that's it! Arrest her!
I'd like to see you try.
Supporting fire?
Yeah, I'm locked and loaded.
Hey, Nozar! You stupid bastard. You think you got the authority to keep that door shut in the savior of Meridian's face? What do you think Sun King Avad is gonna do when he hears what you did? Promote you, huh? Let it through, boys.
Saving the world.
Aw.
Forget something back in Meridian?
Look, Varl.
It doesn't matter. Made it just in time. So this tribe that Murad told us about, the Tanakh, we need their permission to go west?
Yeah, well, I figured it'd be nice if they weren't trying to kill me the whole time.
But this embassy hasn't started yet. We're just gonna barge in?
It's no more politics. No more delays.
Oh well. Now at least you have some backup.
I guess I do. We'll see how it goes.
I liked Varl. I still like Varl. Kinda would have preferred Erend. I think they had better banter. I get they set up Varl though because we did his whole vision. He got a focus, sorry. And that whole deal. Alright, let's go west.
That is the line between east and west. Cross it and die.
Hold on now. Let's take it easy.
None may walk this valley until our signal sounds. That was our accord with the Karja.
I'm not Karja. I came here on my own to ask for rite of passage.
But they opened the gate for you, did they not? What is the meaning of this violation?
Why send a child? Do they want to parley or not?
The Karja can't be trusted. This is known.
Forget the Karja. This has nothing to do with them. I need to go west to save lives. Maybe even yours.
The only lives you can save are your own. By turning back. Now.
Hold!
Marshal Fashav.
She's telling the truth about one thing. She's not Karja. She's a Nora from the Savage East. And if she seeks to save lives, should we not listen? Let me speak to her. One last favor for a fellow marshal before he's taken away.
Oh, Fashav is a marshal.
A fearless, red-headed Nora. You must be the so-called savior of Meridian.
Just Aloy.
I am unyielding
Just Aloy.
Fashav. Once of the Karja High Command, last of the army of the Setting Sun.
You're Fashav. Avad gave me a message for you. That he waits for you in Meridian, where you belong.
Avad always was polite. Well, now I'm even more curious about you knowing that you have the confidence of the Sun King. But such an association
I have everyone's
with the Karja
confidence.
could work against you here, as it often has with me. As you can see, tensions are high. This embassy is a delicate affair. They're about to return me to the Sundom, a gesture that might help soothe painful grievances. And now you arrive, unheralded.
I'm not here to cause trouble. I just need to go west.
So you say. I might be able to help, but I need to know why. Along with some assurance that I won't regret it.
I've never seen markings like those on a Karja before.
The Karja see ink as decoration. For the Tenakth, it is much more. A litany of deeds. A record of vanquished enemies.
Looks like you've vanquished quite a few.
I've fought my share of battles. But I feel that my life, like my markings, is only half complete. This side shows my martial deeds. Before I die, I'd like to see the other half marked with the laurels of peace.
Aw. Cool.
How did you come to be among the Tenakth?
It's quite a story, but not a quick one. Though I suppose neither of us is going anywhere before the embassy begins. Are you sure you want to hear it?
I guess we have time.
Very well. I marched with Sun King Jiran's raiders when they came hoping to moderate their worst impulses.
We did hear that from Avad.
I failed, of course. They committed unspeakable atrocities, stirring the Tenakth into action. When the clans overran our forward encampment at Cinnabar Sands, I stayed behind to help the last stragglers evacuate. I was taken prisoner. I didn't make it easy for my captors, mind you. and they paid me back in kind on the journey to their capital. I lost so much blood on the way that I was white as a corpse when they threw me before Chief Hekarro. I thought I was dead for sure, so I resorted to desperate measures.
So when you met the Tenakth chief, you did something desperate?
Now, I'd kept my ears open as the Tenakth dragged me along, and I heard mutterings about a kind of trial by combat that they revere. So, when they flung me at Hekarro's feet, I demanded this rite, called the Kulrut, thinking that by winning I could request a boon, my life or even my freedom. The other Tenakth howled, but Hekarro stared them down, and then his gaze fell upon me. Evidently, he appreciated my ingenuity. He allowed me to participate in the Kulrut. Little did I know what I was in for.
100% I'm going to be fighting in one of these.
You
so
said the
pay
Kulrut is a
attention.
Tenakth's trial by combat.
Yes, but it is no ordinary trial. It doesn't pit men against each other, at least not directly. Instead, the combatants fight machines in a great arena, and only the strongest survive.
I'd be great at that, and...
Believe me, it is no easy thing to stare down a charging machine while hundreds around you scream for blood.
I know more about that than you might think.
Do you?
Happened to me in the...
Well, then you have my respect.
in the Sundom.
Like you, I lived through it to claim my... I had hopes for freedom, but... well, that wasn't on offer. Only service to the chief.
You wound up serving the Tenakth
And he
chief.
became a
The
marshal
winners
for
of the
it.
Kulrut must serve the chief as his marshals.
You mentioned that word before. What?
The word itself refers to a kind of protective spirit from the ancient past. In practice, marshals are Hekarro's roving lawgivers, part magistrate, part judge, part executioner. I won my place among their ranks and served as honor demanded, but many Tenakth still spat on the ground when I walked by.
And
They
still
did,
do.
until I started forcing them to the ground to grind their faces in it.
I guess that's one way to deal with it.
As you may have noticed, violence is the native tongue of the Tenakth. To survive, one must master it. The truth is, though, the Karja speak it too. More than they should. I can't blame the Tenakth for hating them.
So then, are you still Karja?
Part of me, yes. Always. Yet there is much to admire about the Tenakth. Especially their chief. I've heard stories about what it was like before his reign. 3 clans always at war, constantly slitting each other's throats. Hekarro and the marshals have crafted a delicate peace, and now he looks to the future. Who knows? Maybe that future will include cooperation with the Karja.
The Karja talk about Hekarro as if he's a monster.
The Karja feel compelled to demonize him if only because he swept them from the field.
He kicked their asses, yeah.
It is true that he is fearsome.
Eat him back from the west.
When I was first taken before him, I thought he would flay me alive. But he is no bloodthirsty tyrant like the Mad Sun King was. I think that if you were fortunate enough to meet him, as I was, you would find that he only wants the best for his people. I hope you do speak to him. I'm sure you'd interest him. So, that's my story. You're the first Easterner to hear it. But not the last. The Karja need to know what I have learned.
Yeah. The way you talk about the Tenakth is a lot different than how they... Are you glad to be going back to Meridian?
Oh, I'll admit that I wouldn't mind sleeping in a feather bed or sipping wine from the southern vineyards. But I have another goal in mind. As someone who knows the Tenakth and the Karja, I'm in a unique position to advocate for both.
I don't know if I
something
trust
about is
him
amenable,
fully,
my
but
hope is
he's
to
saying a lot
establish
of good
lasting
stuff.
peace.
And Avad
Your
seems to like
Tenakth
him,
don't
so.
seem that peaceful.
They're not, as a rule. But these are difficult. Chief Hekarro knows that survival often requires change. Even if that change means
And I
putting
love the
aside
look. It's the
centuries of
mechanical bones and plates.
You asked why I need rite of passage. I'll tell you, but you won't like my answer. 6 months ago, the world almost ended in Meridian. That threat still exists. It's getting worse every day, much worse. Calling down storms, poisoning the water, enraging the machines. The source of it all has gone west.
I've seen the signs. And I've heard tales of incredible occurrences in Meridian, an army of demons vanquished by a red-haired champion. So I'm inclined to believe you. The burden of your task is written across your face clearer than any mark of mine. I'll grant you this, to serve as proof of your right to travel into Tenakth. A task so important, and it's just the two of you. Take it from one who aspires to be a diplomat. Allies are essential. Chief Hekarro knows the West better than anyone. He can be intimidating to others, but don't let that deceive you. He is a man of his word.
Thanks,
Maybe.
Rashov.
Your choice. You can find him at his palace, past the mountains to the southwest. Tell him I sent you, and he'll listen to
Look! The Sky Clan's banner.
Finally. But now the embassy will officially begin.
Marshals. It wasn't easy, but I brought the Sky Clan with me.
And the commander?
No. I could only convince a few. He isn't yet aware we left.
We have banners from all 3 clans. If there are fewer from the Sky Clan, it can't be helped.
He's right. Sound the horn.
What's going on?
Not all Tenakth can stomach the idea of parley with the Karja, but enough have come for us to begin.
Then I'll be on my way.
No, the other marshals will not permit it. You wanted safe passage, you have it. After the embassy.
So we had to wait for the embassy regardless. But we now learned a little bit more about that.
The Karja have opened the gates.
Oh, I love the hook boots. That may be for like, can it lower and lock them into place, or is it mainly for like a defensive measure? I'm curious about it. Could it be an offensive weapon for kicking as a last resort? The armor looks a little too heavy and bulky for that, maybe.
As the sun rises over a land at war, so too can it set over a land at peace. Today is such...
Hear me, marshals! You who claim to be Tenakth!
Regalla. Chief Hekarro's biggest mistake. A rival whom he should have killed.
You have forgotten that our people were born in blood. The blood of the Karja. Instead, you pledge your spears to a chief who conspires with the enemy. Hekarro has betrayed us! The embassy is proof! And all of you marshals are his accomplices!
Love her weapon.
For this, I condemn you to death!
You'll need more than toothless threats to intimidate us. Exile.
Could she have allied with silence, perhaps? As she now has control of machines?
Lancers! Form up!
They're riding machines!
Where'd they learn to do that?
Silence.
Vashav! Come with us now, or not at all!
Archers! Light them up!
Get to cover!
Archers! Keep them back!
So few people.
Left flank! through the Karja! Run them down!
They're not gonna make it.
Open the gates! Open the gates! Open the gates!
There goes Studios Wadis, and no one left.
Karja! Stand your ground! Fire at will! I don't have a shot!
Well, because they're not stopping. You have an unobstructed view. You definitely have to stop. Aim where they're going.
What happened? Can you see?
It's just us now.
Hey! Calm down and fight fair!
Lancers! Take the center!
Get ready!
Is Shop dead?
Stick to cover! Archers on the ridge! Time to fight! Here they come! For the fallen! Ammo for you! Hit her again!
Oh, damn. We're doing fine. Damn! What? Badass. Not for long, but. That was still kind of badass.
We've survived worse. Enough! You, Outlanders! I'll skin you!
Bring it on, bitch!
Chief, grant me the honor of this challenge.
Granted.
Cool. We saw that in the trailer. He has tech weapons. They don't roll.
You're next, girl.
I've never seen a shield like that. Better scan it. I can break through his shield if I damage it enough. Gotta get through that shield. No! Break his guard. Now's my chance. Give it up. His shields regenerated. Shield's gone. He's vulnerable.
He's just completely naked, save his helmet. Completely naked.
Your turn! Come down here and face me!
No!
No.
It was an honorable challenge. You've earned your life today. Comrades! Mark this day! Today you have decimated the Marshals! Slaughtered the Karja! So begins our war on Hikaru. Move out!
Way to screw everything up. Now I'm gonna have to kill so many of your people.
Get him to the camp. Now.
Go back, bro.
You gonna make
in
it?
over your head.
You're going on without me, aren't you? Guess I'm stuck with Erend. For now.
Come on. I'll take you back to the fort.
Yeah.
I got you.
So the leader of the fort, dead. Studious Wadis, dead. The 3 marshals, dead. Including the prisoner of war marshal who...
It's salvage time, boys.
I didn't get the salvage yet.
I don't think it can take a hit. I should be able to use it to glide.
Because I went out, I now have the means to...
Aloy.
meet
We're
with
still
Carl.
trying to sort out this mess. Seems like the Tenakth have a civil war in their hands.
That sounds about right. The marshals weren't expecting Regalla to attack.
And the entire Karja delegation was slain. Nozar, Vuadis, Vashav, a massacre. What will you do now?
I have to head west. Hopefully this rite of passage is still good. For what I'm after, I'll cross all of Tenakth territory if I have to.
Then you have a long road ahead of you. This is only the threshold of the Forbidden West. The Tenakth's true domain lies over the mountains that border Plainsong, home of the Utaru tribe.
This isn't Tenakth territory?
All that out there, that's no man's land. It was supposed to be neutral ground, though obviously this Regalla ignored that. Her rebels approached from the north, with all those machines they were riding. They must have made camp up that way.
The rebels were riding bristlebacks. And there were bristlebacks in the Daunt.
Are you saying the rebels let them into the Daunt? How would that even be possible?
I don't know. But it's worth looking into.
While you're at it, there were a number of Karja and Oseram who went out there before the gates were shut for the embassy. Maybe you could check in on
find
them.
them, see if they're good.
See if
No
they're all
problem.
right.
I can keep an eye out. Is there a tall neck somewhere nearby?
A tall neck? There's that one, over there, near the Utaru border. But why?
It's hard to explain. It'll help me get the lay of the land.
If you say so. Is there anything else I can tell you before you go?
About Vashav.
The man was taken captive by the Tenakth. Survived for years out in the west, only to die just short of the Sundom. It's a cruel end for a good soldier.
There was more he wanted to do. He spoke of advocating for lasting peace between the Karja and Tenakth.
Too late for that now.
What will happen to him?
His body will be carried back to Meridian. As a cousin of the Sun King, he will be accorded official rights and buried with honor. No soldier could ask for more.
It's too bad about Nazar and Vuadis.
Not my favorite
At least
people.
Nozar went
Now
down
they're
fighting.
Now they're dead.
As for the Sun Priest, well, no one deserves to go out that way. I'll make sure they're given proper funeral rites. It's the least I can do.
Do you think the Karja will take action against Regalla? Seems like you'd have common ground with the Tenakth.
An expedition of the Karja army into the west could be taken as the start of another invasion. Sun King Avad won't risk it. That said, we can't allow ourselves to be caught unaware by an attack like that.
Increased defenses here.
Vashav called Regalla a rival. Someone the Tenakth chief should have killed.
Yeah, I reckon he should have. She's obviously a huge threat. Her attack was coordinated and precise.
Clearly allied with
until
Silence
you got
or
her way.
Hades.
That is.
They knew the lay of the land, and they knew Vashav was going to be handed over at the embassy. If the Tenakth weren't expecting her, she must have spent months gathering an army in secret.
They had to have made camp nearby.
Could they be part of the Sky Tribe?
Somewhere they could lie low until the perfect moment to strike.
You said the Tenakth lands are far to the west. What can I expect to find between here and there?
So is this map all no
Well,
man's
as I
land?
mentioned, you've got a stretch of wilderness known as No Man's Land, and then New Taru farmlands. Past that are the Tenakth. Their territory is split into 3 clans: Desert, Lowland, and Sky.
Right. I saw their banners at the embassy.
The Desert clan is closest. Ooh, vicious lot. Where everyone else sees an inhospitable wasteland, they see a challenge to dominate. Somewhere beyond the desert is the tribe's capital and the territories of the other 2 clans.
You don't sound certain.
I've only heard the story. During the Red Raids, the Karja army tried to push into Tenakth territory, but the united clans rose up against them, forced them all the way back to the Daunt.
So no one except the Tenakth really know what's beyond the desert.
Maybe the scholars do. Back in Meridian, scrolls have to be filled with something, right?
You mentioned the Utaru tribe. Their lands are between here and
The Atari
Tanakh
tribe are
further
not
west?
the Tanakh.
That's right. Plainsong is their home. They're a peaceful bunch, at least compared to the Tanakh. More taken to farming than fighting.
It's hard to imagine a bunch of farmers surviving in the Forbidden West.
Make no mistake, they have a fierceness all their own. When the Karja were pushed back during the Red Raids, their warriors chased ours through the burning fields of Plainsong. The Sun King has made several overtures of peace to them as well, but so far, they've
The
declined.
Utaru are their own clan.
If they're so
or their
peaceful,
own tribe.
why decline?
Don't know. I heard
They
they
could be
have
like
their
the
own troubles to
Banuk
deal
in the
with.
north and our
Something
in
about
the
a
east.
food shortage. You'd think that'd make them open to trade, but no.
Bannock, the Nora,
They just want to be
the
left alone.
Ostrom, the Karja.
This area is no man's land.
That it is. The Tanakh used to attack anyone past Barren Light on sight, but after Avad overthrew the Mad Sun, he reached out to the other tribes to offer reconciliation. The Tanakh agreed to a neutral border zone as part of the peace talks. Karja and Oseram have been striking out into the area ever since.
But now, it seems like Regala and her rebel army have moved in.
Well, I'd never call no man's land safe. The ancient ruins of the southwest are a testament to that. Remnants of some forgotten war.
Intriguing.
You said there were others who went out when the gates were open before.
Well, in addition to the salvagers that just went through, there were a couple of other parties of Oseram delvers. Even saw 2 Karja scholars trekking southwest with an Oseram crew. Not sure if they're exceptionally brave or just foolhardy.
I'd need to be on my way.
Then I wish you luck. The gates will always be open to you should you wish to return. And don't worry about your friends. We'll get them patched up.
I appreciate it.
Sun watch over you, Aloy.
Attended the embassy. Arrived at the embassy and gained passage into the Forbidden West. Cost 5 to get my next one. That took 3. I thought that took 2. Oh, my bad.
Pack's full, but my stash has room.
Shield Wing, an energy-based glider repurposed from machine technology. Old box for me to deploy and glide.
So, this is the Forbidden West. A whole new frontier to explore. The coordinates from the spire should lead to Silence and Hades. And just maybe, the backup of Gaia. It won't be easy out there. The Blight, the Storms, Regala's machine riders. But I'll have to push through it all. Find a way to fix the world. Yes, I would. The woman who led the ambush, Regala, had a lot of machines under her command. There's only one other person who has that kind of knowledge. Silence. But what's his angle? Why help to knock the rebels?
A good question, unless he's looking for more... a new group to replace essentially the Shadow Karja as servants of Hades. Distinct possibility.
Good spot to test the shield wing. Why climb down when I can glide? It worked! Wow, okay. Guess I can leap off just about any cliff now.
You know what? true. So maybe this is the No Man's Lands right here, and this is the Forbidden West over here. That would be my guess. Otherwise, if this is all the No Man's Lands, then oh boy, I'm in for a hell of a game. Vertical shot traps are now available. Damage flying targets.
Useful for making dyes. Taking over the land out here, too. This must be the salvagers I met in Barren Light. Looks like something's going on.
Okay, went to plain song like yes, turn to the charm, so here's my report. The proposed deal with the Yataro won't work. First of all, the people dislike outsiders and deeply distrust anything related to the Carja. Can't blame them. That means the alliance with the Sun King Vob puts us at a serious disadvantage. It'd be smart to profile us Oseram as friendlier than the barbaric neighbors in Clanlands. That didn't sit well. Some kind of truce going on that we don't know about. Bottom line, the Yataro consider us less trustworthy than the Tanakh. Imagine that. Second, to put it bluntly, the Yataro are weird. Extremely protective about anything that's considered alive. That includes the local hops you want so badly. For them, it's not just a crop, it's sacred or something. The idea of putting some in our grubby little hands disgusted them. Third, most importantly, they're starving. The blight is attacking their crops, and most of them won't eat meat. They wouldn't hand over what grain they have for all the cogs in the claim. And as you can probably tell by now, the visit didn't go very well. Haven't seen many frowns since my cousin ran off with a Carja. Tried introducing them to Main Spring Ale to smooth things over. They were just said, you know, they drink leaf infusions. That's just dirt water.
Well, come on.
If it isn't the savior of Meridian, and of my very own operation. Laren, say hello.
Hello, nice to meet you.
You know, if it weren't for this one, I probably wouldn't be standing here right now. Oh, nasty business. What the Tanakh did back at the embassy. But everyone in Barren Light is thankful you drove them off.
So this is your salvage operation?
You won't find a better place to trade machine parts in the West. And soon we'll be trading in more than just that. For too long, the West has been, well, forbidden. Dangerous.
The dangerous West, the forbidden West.
What if I told you we could make an armor so tough, so infallible, that you'd never have to worry about survival out here again?
What happened to my super badass armor from the last game?
I'd be curious to take a look at it.
Of course.
Counting on you, Aloy.
I think I accidentally skipped it. Oh. Find other salvage camps and fulfill the contracts. This one is an ambush. Blading from a Shell Walker crate to craft his armor. Ambushing nearby convoy could try to see what they need.
Aloy, you managed to get those?
I'm working on...
Good call.
Stuff for the staff. I might want to read that contract before going on the hunt.
Hey, bud. Here we are in the west.
Some kind of outpost. Pens. It might be where Regala's keeping her machines. I need to find a way to get in there. I could scan the area to see what I'm up against. And tag any rebels or machines in my focus to keep track of them. Should use shock ammo.
Clan commanders are fools for backing Hekarro.
This might work.
Refreshing, I guess.
Volatile sludge, strong arm hunter bow, a blast trap.
Okay, I'm in. I have to clear out this place before I can look around.
So I can't take them over.
Did you see that too? Go ahead. Did you see that?
You trying to creep up on me?
Hey!
Invader!
Get over here! Help him out! Ready to die?
Pens, not that many machines. Where'd they all go? Better check in that cave. Sends to my stash.
That's a fox bone. I need fox fur. Into this cave.
The drawbridge. That'd be my way across.
There's so many things I gotta figure out.
That's one half of the bridge. How to drop the other side. There. Bridge is down.
Okay, so let's see. All you did was make an enemy Regalla. All you did here.
Bristleback. It looks like it fell into a tunnel. So the rebels were keeping bristlebacks here. The
And they
machines
blew in.
fell into the tunnel, which must have collapsed as they ran further in. What if Ulvin's explosives created the sinkhole? I should head back to Chainscrape to let Javad know.
A lot of corpses in here. I'm in chain scrape, I can let them know what went down. Go there, clear out another camp. Then I can do the tall neck.
Glide in.
Sky Drifter.
It looks like the rebels have a camp in addition to those machine pens. I should see what they're up to. They've got riders patrolling the area. Better be careful.
Do the robots not even notice? They're doing their own thing, I guess.
I've been spotted.
You there! Alarm! Don't let her kill
Alright, a lot of stuff here. Heal up. Come on, guys.
Patience.
Move around this way. Green stem. It's a rock. Just wait a few more seconds based on that timer. Turn her back. Go.
river seems to run through the camp. Maybe I can use it to get in. It's closed. I'm gonna have to find another way in.
That was worth a shot. Pull it open. Do I see a pull spot? I could go in up and over, maybe. Can I like? I feel like that was worth a shot. It almost worked.
Made it through. If I want to figure out what's going on here, I need to find whoever's in charge.
Is there a back entrance that I could have used? There was. Awesome.
Prisoner. Oseram, I think.
Cool. Let's wait until it's cleared up a bit.
We lost!
Firing now!
Try this again.
Please. Just a short ride from the Karja border. There's enough here to take out half of Bear Light. Yes. Blow it up first.
knew it! There! In the grass! She could still be there! Don't stop shooting! Over there! Right there! Cover us!
Can't do much without ammo. Whoever's in charge. If they're planning an attack on Baron Light, it's gotta be stopped. Hey, I'm here to help. So you follow my lead.
You got it. Thanks for the help, Red.
A hand! Close it up!
Okay, did the block breaker. What are the ostrich doing? Did he already bolt? Hey, he's gone.
Now I'll finish you.
She thinks she has us! Got you now.
All these structures is a command center.
Okay. Fire up and cash ooze is something actually different. Superior Karja blazon. Barbed wire. Bridge wire, sorry. Bunch more blaze. Examine this device.
Loyal Tanakh, hear me! I was told a soldier from this camp goaded one of the sons of Prometheus into an altercation. You would do well to remember that our allies are responsible for providing the machines that we shall ride to glory.
The sons of Prometheus, the sons of Silence, maybe?
Who interferes with them will be eviscerated and left in the desert for carrion. There will be no second warning. Will that be sufficient?
Yeah, that should prevent your people from butting heads with mine. You have my thanks, Regala.
May our pact lead to victory.
So Regala's not working alone. These sons of Prometheus gave her the ability to override machines.
They're empty, they look like they're full of blaze.
They've been accumulating blaze.
Yeah.
And from what I saw out there, enough to blow up something big.
Weathered scrolls.
A map of the Daunt.
Completed key objectives in one rebel camp.
Movement in and out of Barren Light. With emphasis on the fort's weak points. They're gonna blow up Barren Light. Make a hole big enough to fit an entire army. Regala plans on invading the sun. At least when she gets an army big enough to do it. Good thing I blew up all that blaze. Barren Light should be safe. For now.
Well, this would have helped. That probably would have made this camp a lot easier.
No room on me. I can send it to my stash. I should keep an eye out for more of these rebel camps. Stop them from stirring up trouble. I need to find out more about these sons of Prometheus. Stop them from having the rebels slaughter their own people. Not to mention the Karja. Machine's weak to purge water. There's a lot of ancient wrecks out here. Must have been a huge battle. The old ones. They gave everything they had to slow down the Pharaoh swarm. To buy Zero Dawn time. Oh, that helps.
Good, I got Sparker, Skydrifter, Razortail, a tracking container. Sparker. I definitely shot off a chunk of its tail. Where's that? Right here? The razor tail seems like a valuable part.
To keep me going.
There's one other type of machine there. This is the ancient battlefield that they were talking about. The Pharaoh Swarm. Yeah, this looks like a legit war zone. I definitely need to pick up as many medicinal bushes as I can see right now. That lowered me a bit, those battles.
Tallneck. If I override it, I can get data on the surrounding area.
Oxhide, there we go. Metal flower, those were in the last game, weren't they? Need special gear to clear it. Story of a soldier. I guess there's still a machine searching for me, but I don't see any enemies.
I'll grab this now.
Who is by me?
Take this to a dyer later.
And now that I'm not being watched, apparently, quick save.
I can use shock ammo. That sound. The Tallneck must be close by. Overriding it should give me data on the surrounding area. always count on a pack of scrappers to carve up any salvage.
Find him.
I'll keep some extra on hand.
Let's check
I'll
out
grab this for my stash later. Looks like a satellite dish. If I can climb it, I should be able to reach that tall neck easily enough. Power generator. It looks dead. There has to be a way up this thing.
trouble. Tearing your medicinal herbs. I mean, I know I should just be using the potions. More efficient. But, yeah. I actually don't have a good reason I'm not using the potions. Okay. Western Grand Array, Eyes to the Heaven exhibit. Visitors are invited to explore the history of radio astronomy and learn what it's like to see through the eyes of our state. The state-of-the-art telescopes and this all-new panoramic hollow experience. 2059 viewing.
Can't climb any higher, but looks like this thing. Rotate. If I can figure out a way to turn the power back on, I'll be able to move things around and find a way up. Sliding in.
Doe and Ray. If I have to align two other
far farther than I thought.
So I might have to go align two other satellites to get this one to move.
look too difficult to climb. I'll have to find another way. I know I'm here. That must be Plainsong. The Utaro tribe's home. The blight is worse here. If I don't find a Gaia backup, it'll be like this everywhere. That's strange. Those machines don't seem hostile. Spotted. Gotta move.
Guys, just leave me alone. I'm just trying to find a way to... See how close it gets in. I'll see if I can glide onto it. Way too far. Okay. Tourists love it. Every dish or landing, one after another, playing their assigned note over the alarm speakers, all perfectly paced. Music is math, after all. Scientists who don't appreciate the transcendence of musical scales should have their pieces revoked.
It's starting to rain. It's about time.
Having a good day?
I should be able to resupply here.
Such a jump. It's not normal.
Hello. May the land. By the look of you, you must be an Easterner.
An Outlander in Plainsong. You'll want to.
All right.
A word of warning: avoid the ruins northwest of Plainsong. Scouts say something lights up the ruins when night comes. Whatever it is, it's not natural.
Good to know. Something lighting
New
up the
relic ruin.
ruins. Could be old world tech. Might be worth taking a look.
Good hunting, Outlander.
Hunter to hunter, let's trade.
That was a mess. A mess. Here we go. Upgraded every pouch type: food, potion, resource, trap, and any ammo. Okay. Rope pouch up. Ah. Worn by the Hunter's Lounge. They both have good componentaire.
Return and we shall make a trade. Spring follows winter. Always. Excuse me.
We stopped your right.
That's a cool looking one. Reaps more crops.
Keep me in mind when you need armor or stitching.
Hope you're doing well.
Over here, child.
That's the chef, so this will be the potion maker?
Do you know how long it's been since there's been an exchange of treatment?
We have enough rations to trade if you need them, stranger.
The potion maker?
A warm meal?
Oh, that was the dyer for Alpha
Save your life out there.
May the land bloom in your stead.
Please! The chorus won't meet with me. I don't know what else to do.
How about you just start by telling me what's wrong?
I'm from Riverham, to the north. A few days back, I woke to the screams of my neighbors as Tanakh's rebels attacked. They were just scouts, but we barely drove. If a full raiding party comes next... We're not fighter. I thought the chorus would help us. I thought we all sprouted from the same earth, but it seems an Outlander is the only one who'll even listen to me. Would it be too much to hope?
You said your own people won't help.
The chorus are supposed to speak for all Utaru. And normally I wouldn't question, but they see outlying settlements like Riverham as lost land, no longer under Plainsong's protection. They won't even meet with me to discuss it.
Regala's rebels. Do you know why they're attacking you?
You're asking why the sun sets at night. They are Tanakhs. They live to fight. But this time my village is caught in the middle. The rebels want to strip it of supplies to feed their campaign against the western clans.
They're not attacking here. Can't you retreat?
An Outlander might find it difficult. All Utaru carry seeds that are planted when we pass. My people have planted many seeds in Riverham's Grove, a gift from the buried years, which I believe Outlanders call the Red Wraiths. We'll never leave. We sacrifice too much.
So that pouch on their chest is seeds?
If
and
I
when
find
they
myself
die,
up north,
whoever's
I'll
around
check in
buries
on your
those
people.
seeds? That's a
I ask
neat little-
nothing more. When you reach the village, look for Q. He's heading up our defenses.
Restore power to the council. metal flowers. Yep, no, that seems right. That seems great. All good. Fine.
The cook should know what to do with this. Some kind of drone. Is it watching over this area? Might have some useful data. But how to get up there? I've learned to override machines and cauldrons before. I wonder if there are any out here. Gotta bring the drone down to grab its data. Maybe if I jump onto it?
Taking you with me.
Oh, light's taking up. Oh. I was trying to send this data somewhere, but the connection was severed. Guess I'll just hold on to it for now. Gotta grab the drone's data. I don't think I can shoot it down.
I don't know why. So if I can't access these other satellite dishes. You can check them one more time, but I do not believe there's a way to access any of these dishes. So...
Shake off this wet.
None of these have any power at the bottom at all.
Been spotted. Gotta be a way to charge this up.
Alright. Maybe I gotta... So it is whatever that is. Okay. That's what I initially thought, and then I couldn't access it, so I'm like, nah. Nah.
Falling gently.
Gotta be a way to access that then. Maybe I have to... drop from that ladder and make my way around? Could it be that obvious and I was just dumb? I'm just dumb, guys. Jeez.
A power cell. Disconnected from the main power line. This should help me get things up and running. I just need to get it to whatever generator powers this dish. There's the generator. Bet this power cell can get it running. Power's back. I should check that console I found earlier. Let's see what this thing does.
Machine kill assist? Who did I kill?
Error. Disalignment incomplete. Motor function impeded.
Shear's jammed. I'm still not high enough to reach the tarmac. Maintain the ditch. Let me climb higher. Actually worked.
There we go. And then from there I can glide to the tarmac.
I should be able to get to that tarmac now. Just gotta find the right spot. Looks like I might need to glide onto the tarmac. Just gotta time it right. Oh, it's not too difficult to climb. I'll have to find another way.
Looks like I'll have to glide onto it. Hey, I glided onto it and I'm gonna fall off right away. Immediately. Climb! They need to work out the handling on this. The handling on this is ass.
There we go. Time to override the big guy.
I mean, the whole point is
and map data typing machines.
Outpost, shelter, campfire, campfire.
But now it's mine.
There we go. Okay. Carja camp, settlement, unknown, unknown, unknown. There's a cauldron. Neat. Wide Maw, which are hippos for the looks of it. Flinthawks. So our first cauldron is right there on the way we can do. How did it go to passage? Thunderjaw. Cool, we got Thunderjaws. That's a little bit closer, so I feel like that would be... be able to knock out a few shelters on the way to that one. We're fine. Fine.
Acid won't make much of a dent. Down it goes!
These things are kind of rough. A little bit intense.
Secret ingredient for someone, I'll bet.
We're good. Those two little raptor boys were kind of intense.
I can get it from my stash later.
Shelter. Into high song. Oh, it's River Hymn.
Seems like someone's in trouble.
You're close, aren't you? I bet
Oof, that was brutal.
Don't let
I hit down. Screw you, my faster healing potions. Come on.
Sounds like someone's in trouble.
We can't let them defile our home. Push back! Do not let them through! We are Ikaru! Push back! Do not let them through!
Make sure they don't get away!
For Riverhead! Hold them off! Don't let it get to you! Push! Do not let them through!
Oh, I have the slicer on them.
Save those smiles for your families. The Tenakth understand only strength, and ours was a poor display at best. They will be back. You, the one who actually won this fight for us. A word. I want everyone fortifying the pass.
Your warriors seem...
Green as early spring. There are children playing with sticks. It's all I can do to keep them alive. It'll only get harder. So far, the rebels have sent mere scouts. But it won't be long till they return for an all-out assault. And if they bring machines with them, we'll need a lot more than eager hearts to win.
You seem to know a lot about Tenakth's tactics.
Back when the Tenakth clans pushed back the Karja raiders, I joined the fight.
The Tenakth taught you how to fight?
More than that, they taught me how to work with metal. I'm probably the only Utaru who can. Never thought I'd be using what I learned then to fight against them now.
Oh, we're going down now? This one up. All right.
We may speak freely here.
So, what's the plan?
The plan was making new weapons for my so-called fighters. I send my best climber, Voss, up the drum route to get the materials we need. Wide maws leave metal pods we use for crafting at its summit. But the derangement has made them as dangerous as the climb to reach them. Voss has yet to return. We have defenses to set up, and we are running out of time. If the Savior of Meridian is willing to lend us her strength a little longer,
Yes, I am.
I believe you can get us what we need.
You know who I am.
Red hair, bow, fights better than 10 warriors put together. You're well known.
I understand what this place means to your people, but you're outnumbered and under-equipped. You could leave, head to safety.
Have you ever seen a flower so small and white? When it falls, it looks like snow in spring. My daughter called them winter song. She carried their seeds to the day she drew her last breath. Now those seeds grow in the grove at the heart of River Hem, planted by my own hands, as do the ones of every brother and sister taken from us during the Red Raids. I will not abandon them.
I'm sorry about your daughter.
The raids took her from me. I found my peace in every Karja that fell beneath my spear. Now all I have left of her is planted in the grove here. No Tenakth will force me out.
Do all Utaru carry seeds with them?
We are given our pouches soon after we're born. When we die, the seeds are buried. A reminder that our deaths bring new life.
Cool.
It is how we remain one with the rhythm.
What makes the path up to the drum root so dangerous?
It's a cave of sunken passages and gaping caverns that only the very skilled can navigate. It serves as a safe haven for my people, but machines have patrolled its deepest passageways ever since the derangement. Even so, River Hem and the Grove live off its waters. We are connected to it as much as we are to the seeds growing behind you.
What exactly do you do around?
I am the Metal Weaver of River Hem, but all you really need to know about me is that I plan to keep my people alive. Thanks to you, we might actually have a chance at that.
All right. The metal pods, are those the flowers?
Tell me more about these metal pods.
They are tricky to collect. The Widemaws sow them. One must be quick enough to gather them before the soil and water take them. But their metal is among the sturdiest I've ever weaved. Without them, our chances of survival are slim.
Oh, if there's no convincing you to leave, I guess we're making some weapons.
You have my thanks. There's no...
Can I show them how to make traps? The traps are not that complicated. We could line the...
With those pods and a whole lot of luck, we just might get out of this alive. Let's hope these sprouts can hold their ground against a squad of machines. I can only cover so much ground, and my joints aren't what they used to be.
I assume we're going in here, to this indent that I wanted to go to, so that works out.
Looked to me like they chose to stay here as much as you did.
It'll be the fight of their lives, that's for sure. Almost there. This is the best we can do to hide those who cannot fight. But if we fall, the Tenakth will find them sooner than later. We're here.
I can take it from here. I'll get the pods your people need. Don't worry.
Come see me at the forge when you're done.
Take care not to breathe in the air around the blighted lands, stranger. I find you very intrusive. I was just thinking of you. Feeling better.
Do you? I'm gonna save your ass, so...
Guess I better start finding my way up to the top.
Cool.
I need to find a way up there.
Vertical shock. Trap. Go down to go up.
I'm guessing that's Faust. These wounds were made by machines. I should take his seed pouch to Q. It seems to mark Miyataro. Shock's not gonna help me here. Let's find a way up these caves.
Yep. So Voss is dead. Sorry, Voss. Didn't get here in time. I mean, I get most people here aren't warriors, but you can handle a tracker, a burler or two. Come on. I couldn't, but I feel like if you lived in this world, you should be able to handle at least one.
I'll get rid of the vines. I'll get anyway.
There you go. We made it, we're good. Top of the drum room.
Almost there. Made it. Time to find those white moths. There they are. Those pods they're ejecting. They must be the ones Q needs. Looks like I can just pick them up once they fall to the ground. If I'm quiet enough, I can get them without the machines ever knowing I'm here. Got it. I'll have to find a cauldron out here to learn how to override that.
We're good. This one should do. Where are you going, guys? Just stay in this little area. I'm trying not to fight you. Resource containers, vacuum unit.
This is clean when we get out here. That's all the pods. Time to get out of here.
through it. Well, we made it out. It's the key. That's the important bit.
Poison takes to the
An
air
outlander.
around the field.
Unusual.
Why am I still technically wanted? There we go. There we go.
I got what you needed.
Not a moment too soon. Did you find Voss?
I brought his seed pouch back.
I pray it'll be the last I bury.
I mean, if we're about to have a battle, I doubt it.
But now I need to get the weapons ready.
Let's hope it'll be enough.
It'll have to be.
Only 4? We can do 4.
Everyone, stay behind cover until I give the signal. Continue firing! Contact! She's hurt! Engage her!
Guess these young ones knew how to aim after all. Even so, we owe you this victory, Huntress.
It wasn't my strategy or craft that got us here, Q. I just brought in some parts.
Even so, I want you to have this.
Cool.
It
Nice
did good by my
combo.
people. It'll do good by you.
I'll take good care of it.
Be safe out there.
Pleasant surprise.
Use
Not in the mood.
sharp shot bow.
This'll be in my stash when I need it.
Sharp bows, powerful, highly accurate, long range. Reduce accuracy when moving, cannot be aimed when sliding.
I'll fill up all I can.
All right. This northern area has been taken care of. We got a bunch more stuff. You know what? While we are fast travel back to here and turn in this quest to reveal where the bristlebacks came from. Oh, hey guys.
Another.
So, you've returned from the west. Any luck?
The bristlebacks were being penned by Tenakth rebels on the other side of the mountains. Ulvin's explosives opened up a sinkhole, dropping them into the tunnels.
Which they followed to the mine and out into the Daunt.
Right. Aside from the rebels, if anyone is...
Radiant beams of the sun. And all this time, he was pointing the finger at us. Bring Ulvund here. Petra.
Here we go.
Summoned like a blasted ale winch. You best be meaning to put pen to parchment.
A Nora, a Karja, and an Ashram.
Why is she here?
I live here too, lugnut. So what's this about?
Thanks to the Savior, the sun has shown the truth on the Bristleback incursion. Tenakth rebels were keeping pens of machines on the other side of the mountains. A sinkhole swallowed them, releasing them into the underground tunnels that led east and out into the Daunt.
So it was an accident. But let us not forget that it was the Karja...
I'm not done. The sinkhole only formed due to your unauthorized blasting in the southern mine, Ulvund. You are responsible for the machine rampage, the workers we lost, the destruction the Bristlebacks caused. All of it.
My dear magistrate, has your precious son baked your senses? I would never give such an order without first consulting you.
Evidence says otherwise. Aloy found the shipping manifest in the mine. You skirted the laws of the Sundom, Ulvund. All for a few extra shards.
Greedy as ever.
And you almost drowned your other miners. And sent that oversized tool over there to intimidate a bunch of refugees.
I demand an official investigation. I won't be the victim of some Karja scheme.
Certainly. We'll conduct a thorough inquest into everything. The Bristlebacks, the mine, the refugees. every business deal you ever put your name to.
Well, that's not necessary, is it?
Maybe not
What if I just
official.
return to the claim?
Yeah,
Oh, well, that would save the crown the cost.
Of course. I'll be on my way as soon as I wrap up some previous commitments, tie up some loose ends. After all, the welfare of Chainscrape's people in a transition like
Nope,
this...
you're leaving right now. Chainscrape will be just fine.
You think she can run this scorched-out forged dump?
Yeah, Petra.
Knock yourself out.
Get out!
Oh, don't want you, don't need you. Down with all
Get off me!
Mud looks good on you, Alvin.
Couldn't happen to a
Sun
nicer
burns
guy.
away, Shadow. Thank you for that, Aloy.
Oh, he had it coming.
Here, please accept this token of gratitude. You've done the Sundom and my sanity a great service. And I believe we have some matters to discuss.
Guess we do. Not the most pleasant boots to fill.
Yeah,
but I'll
Petra,
wear
you
'em.
can handle this.
All thanks to you, Flamehair.
Okay. Chainscrape will be better off with Petra in charge.
Stained Nora Champion. Melee attacks. It's cool. If I get that, I can just get melee damage increase. Ammo expert's what I want. I need one more to get ammo expert. Okay. Saves me crafting resources. Same with that. All right. I could head up here and keep exploring the north, or I could head down here, start exploring the south. Let's travel here. Do the convoy, and I think that'll be a good ending point. We've now, I think, wrapped up what we need to wrap up in Chainscrape.
Dyer can make use of this.
Can't tell if that's the blighting, just runoff, or the blight dyeing the water red. Can't tell.
Contract! I might want to read that contract before going on.
Requires Shellwalker, find more details, and the data point copy of the contract. There we go. Hereby engages the hunter to provide the following service. The hunter will eliminate at least one Shellwalker from the designated machine convoy to provide the salvagers access to its crate. Any other salvage will be gathered as payment for services rendered. Or can be gathered, okay. Campsite and traps has been provided at the Mark Passage, which is regularly visited. The hunter understands that accepting this involves please don't die, really need those parts, Laren. They're dead pharaoh harvesters, the demons all over the place.
Tanakh rebels. They're trying to corner those upstream. Find this in my stash later.
You not hear me, Red? I got a little something for you since you got us out of that. If it isn't the hero of the day.
Are you all Delvers?
We've been working No Man's Land for a while. I was hoping to get back to Barrenlight by the time they opened the gates, you know? After that embassy of theirs.
Hey, it's all done?
Seeing as how we almost got minced to pieces just now, I'm guessing things didn't go so well.
You could...
It's not like No Man's Land was safe to begin with. But I didn't think I'd have to worry about the Tenakth in neutral territory. And now, they're riding machines.
If you were headed back to Barren Light...
We ran across some ruins nearby. Thought we'd take a gander, but the place is full of weird red crystal. Can't get through this stuff. First thing tomorrow, though, we head straight to Barren. Should probably send a message to our crew down at Jagged Deep about...
Jagged Deep?
It's a dig site by this big lake down south. Old world scrap everywhere. And that's my cue. Thanks for helping us out. Maybe I'll get into more trouble and see you around.
Oh, let's hope not. An old world ruin. I wonder what's inside. Looks like this door's locked. Maybe there's another way in. Okay, let's see what we can find around here. I should probably leave this alone for now. Red crystals.
More weird
Growing on the
crystals.
wall. I don't think there's anything I can do about them. Well, without a way to get through those red crystals, there's not much I can do. I better move on. This crate might be useful.
More mysterious red crystals that I can't get into. That's going to be an item that I need to... Got it. Understood. Wow, next stop, campsite. The music sounds so melancholy. I kind of dig it.
That's from my stash when I need it.
This giant war machine, maybe the one we saw Silence speaking to at the end of the last game, the DLC. I think that's the Karja camp to the south. No, it's that building. Karja camp is across the river from it on this side.
Cauldrons could teach me how to override these machines.
You know the cauldron in the area. Nice, we got a plasma cell. That's new. I don't think I have any of them yet. Mm-hmm.
Shock could do a lot of damage.
Prove your worth!
A group of
Stash this away for
elders,
later.
I guess. Judging by it, looks like an Itaru settlement.
The blight has taken to the air here, Outlander.
Oh, I am
Turn
very
back,
unfamiliar with
Outlander. Stone's Echo is for Utaru only.
Ooh. The lips don't quite.
Guess I'm not
I
getting
don't
in
know if
there.
I'm supposed to be talking to you.
Turn back, Outlander.
Guess I'm not getting in there.
If the land gods were on our side, I doubt they could save us. Having a good day?
Making good use of this. Pretty sure that's the passage Laren's contract mentioned. I should make sure I have my facts straight. Give the contract a quick read. Shellwalkers use this passage regularly, and Laren wants their plating. I just need to wait them out at his camp. Might be a good idea to place some traps on the road first. Catch the convoy by surprise. There. I should rest up. Wait for the convoy.
Unless they come down this way. Come down this way. Base of the neck.
convoy. It's here. Lauren's contract said they'd set up traps along the passage. Might as well use them. Better use something other than fire.
Maybe I should have let them get a little further down before I started limping attacks.
Shellwalkers use this passage regularly, and Laren wants their plating. I just need to wait them out at his camp. Might be a good idea to place some traps on the road first. Catch the convoy by surprise.
Did all my traps disappear? They did. Awesome.
This should help. I should rest up. Wait for the convoy. Stash when I need it.
Now we just wait.
Convoy. It's here. Man's contract said they'd set up traps along the passage. Might as well use them. That could do some damage. Acid ammo will make this go quick. Salvage for me.
Alright, I'll leave the crate for them. I ran into a crow to kill it. That's right. really wish this ride was a little smoother. This is just half the time it just feels unpleasant to pilot.
I'm called in to learn how to ride machines. An old world ruin. I wonder what's inside.
There.
I took down that shell walker for you.
Vonda, Rendor, we got a pickup. Per our contract, here's your payment. This will definitely help me make some great armor.
But...
Well, I realized an armor made out of Shellwalker plating's good, but with just a few minor additions, it could be so much better. If you'd be willing to take on a few more contracts. What do you say?
Tell me more about these
I was thinking, Scrabber Jaws are powerful. I could use them to strengthen my armor. Crew spotted a pack of them not far.
I get...
Fantastic.
What else do you...
Alarm antennas. Strong, supple. We picked out a herd of scroungers already.
I'll,
Best of luck.
Scroungers and scrappers. Buy a few fast travel packs.
Good call. I know I can make it perfect.
Recommend taking down a few charters at the mark site to lure them in.
Just in the right part.
Sentry Scroungers. The salvagers recommend shooting the antenna off before it being spotted. Failure just as more being called to join the hunt. Alright. So we got a lot to do. Oh, that's all the way up here, the Scrounger site. Okay. Is this the charter site up here? So those are all back in the Daunt. Alright, well, I think that's as good a time as any to call it for now. I might do those missions off stream. I'll hand them in on stream, and I'll do some other small stuff off stream probably, but for now, guys, thank you so much for joining me. It has been a blast. We are getting to explore No Man's Land. We've made some allies up north. A lot of fun. I liked the aesthetic of the hymn up there. I forget what it's called. Something hymn. It has to have a name, right? It had a whole little quest for it. Whatever. I enjoyed that little quest. And enjoyed the people of Plainsong and their aesthetic. I do want to know more about the Utaru and the 3 tribes proper. Hopefully we will be able to knock out more of No Man's Land. We know we have a cauldron here, a couple of ruins. We got to find a way through these red crystals. The Eclipse base is here, as well as the coordinates we got from the Spire. So that's what we're going to look into next time. Please be back. Remember, guys, if you have not already, follow me on Twitch, subscribe on YouTube, do all the stuff to help me out. I will be doing a morning stream and a nighttime stream tomorrow on Twitch. Wednesday afternoon and night, and Thursday, I don't know yet. Thursday morning, afternoon, Friday, I'm not sure. That's the one I'm not sure about Friday. Because we're trying to get as much of this done as I can before Elden Ring comes out. So look forward to that. If you're watching this on YouTube, new episodes drop Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Be sure to tune in, or you could pop over to Switch and watch all the episodes up to this point. Again, thank you so much. I will be seeing you guys. Until next time.